You've seen him in everything from The Departed to The Other Guys, Planet of the Apes, The Perfect Storm, Fear, Ted, Patriots Day, and the list goes on. And now Hollywood star Mark Wahlberg has a new thriller that just hit theaters. Take a look at Flight Risk.
Moretti is very disappointed in you, Winston, and he wants you dead.
Don't shoot him, we need him!
Mayday, mayday. We've been compromised. The pilot's a hitman.
The one and only Mark Wahlberg joins us now to talk about Flight Risk. Thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, the movie looks like it's action-packed in the trailer, and not everyone is who they appear to be, so set the scene a bit for us.
Yeah, I think if you kind of take the three people that are in the movie and you kind of describe the storyline and the concept of the film, I think most people would say Mark Wahlberg is going to be the hero and figure out how to land the plane and save the day. That doesn't happen in this film. I get to play this kind of aw shucks pilot in the beginning who's trying to be charming and sweet, and then all of a sudden, once the hat's off, this guy becomes a completely different person, is completely unhinged throughout the entire film, and I think it's one of the most fun roles that I've ever had up until this point in my career, and I think people have enjoyed this as much as anything that I've done in the past. It's an amazing edge-of-your-seat thrill ride. I saw it in 4DX last night. I've never had that kind of experience in the cinema before. It's so much fun. It's such a wild ride.
Well, it sounds incredibly exciting. So I have to ask you, did you do your own stunts?
I did everything that was required of me, as always, but I'm never one to kind of be like, you know what, I'm so cool, I've got to jump off this building or throw me out of this plane. I only do what's required, but because we were in such a confined space, it was required to do a lot of it. I did have a double who was also willing to cut his hair the same way that I cut mine. Thank you, Rex, by the way. But you know, it's one of those things where we wanted to make it as real as possible, so it's best if we could do it ourselves. It would keep the audience thinking that this is really us.
Okay, well, that, again, adds to the excitement. But here's another thing. People might not realize that Mel Gibson is the director of this film. What was the experience like working with him?
You know, Mel and I have worked together a number of times as actors, but I've always wanted to work with him as a director. He's made some of my favorite films, Braveheart, Apocalypto, Passion of the Christ, just to name a few. He is a phenomenal talent, and I think he really kind of elevated everybody's game as actors. And he is also an actor first, so he's creating an environment where you feel very safe to try anything and experiment, and, you know, even at the risk of looking ridiculous. So I think, you know, we're really fortunate to work with him, and hopefully I'll get to do it again.
Yeah, I think you need that kind of director when you're working on something that was even in such a small, confined space of what's supposed to be an airplane.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Because, you know, we had a great template with what was on the page, but we were also free to just kind of try things and explore, which was great.
That sounds awesome. Well, we have to thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. We appreciate you.
Thank you, and Lions, we're going to get them next year. Don't worry.
Yes, we will. Thanks again.